Thank you so much for watching Landom C Goes There. Please subscribe and hit the like button and the bell notification button. The Passenger is a 1975 drama film directed by Michelangelo Antonioni. It's the final film in the famed director's three-picture deal with producer Carlo Ponti and MGM Pictures. The story goes that David Locke, played by Jack Nicholson, is a reporter sent to the African deserts to report on activities there, and he discovers the dead body of an acquaintance of his, a man by the name of Robertson. Seeking escape from his mundane life, he takes the identity of Robertson and also discovers many peculiar secrets of this dead man. One of which is that he is taking large amounts of money for supplying illegal arms to African terrorists. Along the way, Jack Nicholson's character spots an attractive girl played by Maria Schneider, and he strikes up a conversation with her. When he later finds out that one of his old reporter friends, Martin Knight, played by Ian Hendry, is looking for him to interview him, he gets this girl to help him escape, and they run away together. As the reporters and Locke's wife close in with the police, this man with the stolen identity realizes some serious facts about his life and its place in the world. Some years after the production of this film ended, Nicholson had a dispute with MGM on an unrelated matter. He had a deal with them for developing and starring in another film, but the studio abandoned that project. Nicholson then demanded to be compensated, and the result was the acquisition of this film. This explains why, out of the three productions by Carlo Ponti and Michelangelo under the contract for MGM, beginning with the first movie Blow Up in 1966 and followed by the Zabriskie Point from 1970, ownership of this movie was not eventually passed on to Warner Brothers, which had acquired the pre-1986 MGM film library via their purchase of Turner Entertainment. For many years, Nicholson kept this movie out of circulation until Sony Pictures Classics approached him with an offer to restore and reissue the film. In a long take early on in the film, Nicholson's character is exchanging passport photos in his hotel room with a tape recorder that's playing an earlier conversation between Locke and Robertson, who is now dead. The camera pans without a cut to hold on Robertson's now live appearance on the balcony. All of this while Locke appears beside him and the two of them continue talking, completely done in camera in a single shot flashback. That's the amazing thing about this director. His use of just common sense camera moves are amazing. The movie also has a pretty horrific scene that's a real-life event that happened. It's a military firing squad scene that reportedly shows the death of a now anonymous armed robber. It's local Nigerian footage that was filmed in an area called Bar Beach. During that time period, many executions of accused criminals and coup plotters were carried out on this famous beach, often in front of impromptu crowds of thousands of spectators. In more modern times, this waterfront location has become the site of a massive Atlantic hotel, office, and residential complex. The entire film is supposed to have taken place in just one day. This is the reason that the film has no nighttime scenes. The director mentioned that actually the entire story takes place in a shorter period than one day, from early morning until sometime before sunset. As I said earlier, the director is known for his special use of camera moves. In the film's penultimate shot, the camera ran on a ceiling track in the hotel room, and when it came outside the window, it was meant to be picked up by a hook suspended from a giant crane nearly 30 meters high. A system of gyroscopes were fitted on the camera to steady it during the switch from the indoor track to the outside crane. Meanwhile, the bars on the window had to be given hinges. When the camera reached the window and the bars were no longer in the field of view, they were swung away to either side. At this time, the camera's forward movement had to stop for a few seconds as the crane's hook grabbed it and took over from the track. In order to hide this, the lens was slowly and smoothly zoomed until the crane could pull the camera forward. Then the cameraman walked the camera in a circle around this square, giving the crew time to shut the window bars before the camera returned to look through the window from the outside this time. Antonioni directed the scenes from a van by use of monitors and microphones, talking to assistants who would communicate his instructions to the actors and operators. Only a year later, in 1976, the completely portable Steadicam, which uses a counterweight system rather than gyroscopes, became available for this kind of shot, greatly simplifying such setups like this. Now, the character that's played by Maria Schneider gained a lot of attention, not for this film, but for one before this. In this movie, she doesn't even have a name. She's just given the credit of being that girl. But in the movie Last Tango in Paris from 1972, she starred with Marlon Brando in one of the most controversial scenes that's ever hit the big screen. She was 19 at the time that she filmed Tango, which shows a graphic portrayal of her engaging in a relationship with an older man. She had to perform several nude scenes in the film, including one that is more considered an assault scene than something she was committed to. As a matter of fact, she states that she had no clue that this scene was actually in the film. That shot is commonly called the butter scene. So just use your imagination slightly, and you can understand that butter was actually used as a lubricant. Maria stated that she should have stopped right then and there as soon as she found out about it and called her agent and refused to do it. But she really didn't know what to do. She was young, and Brando told her not to worry about it. He stated, "It's just a movie." By the time the scene was over, she was literally in tears. She felt humiliated by Brando and the director too. Thankfully, it was all captured on camera in just one take. She states that this scene caused her trouble for the rest of her life. She had a complete disdain for performing nude again and would actually walk off of the set of a movie if she found out that she had to take her clothes off. The 1970s were terribly turbulent for her, marked by drug addiction, overdoses, and a suicide attempt. She stated many times that she disliked the instant fame that was accorded her from the movie Last Tango in Paris. On February 3rd of 2011, she died from breast cancer at the age of 58. She was cremated, and her ashes were scattered at sea. All this according to her last wishes. Take a look at this fabulous movie by the famed director Antonioni. He never disappoints. Thank you so much for watching, and we'll continue to chase the classics.